On this episode of Film Crash, I interview legendary special effects master Douglas Trumbull. Coming up next. Hey everybody, it's JDV here for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Thanks for coming by another episode of Film Crash. In this episode, I have a short interview with legendary special effects master Douglas Trumbull. He's worked on everything from Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey all the way up to Star Trek The Motion Picture, and he's directed films, and he's just a legend in the industry, and he was nice enough to give me a short little interview. And without further ado, here it is. Hey everybody, JDV here with legendary special effects artist and director Douglas Trumbull, who is here in Monroe, Michigan for a celebration of his films and work, and he has been nice enough not only to talk to me, but he's talked to everybody here. He's put on symposiums here today, and it's been just fantastic. And thank you for coming here.
My pleasure.
To visit us.
Thank you.
Is this your first trip to Michigan?
No, I've been here many times.
Okay.
My parents used to live here. I used to visit here when I was young.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I was hoping I could go to Cranbrook as a young kid. I couldn't get my parents to pay for it.
But you were born and raised in L.A.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
But you chose to move to a climb kind of like this to Massachusetts. I just that's the first thing I thought of when I found I was doing some research on you, and you voluntarily moved to a colder place from L.A. Now why is that? Just because I lived in L.A. for a while and I hated it.
Well, I just didn't get along with the industry in L.A.
Yeah.
I just felt like a fish out of water and a misfit, and I didn't fit into their business model at all, and I just felt I was uncomfortable and not much appreciated there. So I just felt that after I had that disaster with Natalie Wood dying during production of Brainstorm, I just said I have to leave. If people die over this,
Right.
count me out. And so it was a very horrible tragedy for me and for Natalie to have that happen during my production. And it was a horrible situation with MGM and with their management and their lawyers. It was the worst personal.
They wanted to just bury the film, right? And
Totally,
just,
they wanted the film not even to be finished.
right. Just take the insurance.
Yeah. So I just fought them tooth and nail to get the movie finished. And that's why I just decided to leave LA and restart myself.
And what made you want to be a director as opposed to just someone from the special effects end? And because being a director, you have to deal with the actors, and George Lucas famously, they're like cattle and all that.
That's not true. I love dealing with actors.
You do?
Yeah. George doesn't like to direct very much, but that's his.
It's hard work.
Every director has their own attitude about actors and directing. I love it, and I like being in control of the entire movie, as he does, and as any director does. So, I don't like to be an employee of just doing what someone else says. Although I've had really good experiences with the movies we've had here. Those have all been wonderful creative opportunities for me that I don't complain about.
Did you take part in the casting of?
No.
You did?
Only Brainstorm and Silent Running I did.
Okay.
Those are movies that I directed. So
Would you work with a casting director for the main parts, or did you sit down, or did you just know, hey, if I can get Natalie Wood, I'm going to take Natalie Wood?
No, that was a collaboration with the studio.
It was?
Yeah, it was all, the casting is all in collusion or collaboration with the studio. So Natalie Wood and Christopher Walken and Louise Fletcher and Cliff Robertson were all part of I had to really fight for Cliff Robertson. I thought he had a unique quality that I wanted to have, so we got it. I got what I wanted.
So other than the retrospect of all the films, everyone's seen them, 2001, Blade Runner, Star Trek, and all that, one of the things you're advocating right now is a new system, a new process of essentially a little bit you talked about, it's like a holodeck type experience, where it's kind of more real, the normal 24 frames per second. My question to you is, I know Peter Jackson ran up against it when he did this 48 frames per second.
Right.
That the audience perceives it as video, or have you run into that with your process?
I don't have that problem at all. I figured out how to work around it, because the most important quality of movies is the shutter, which has been in the cameras and in the projectors for 100 years, and we can all tell it when we see it. Television doesn't have a shutter.
Right.
When you go to high frame rates and you have no shutter, or digital projectors like movie projectors don't have shutters either.
Right.
Mechanical film projectors have shutters. We can tell the difference instantaneously. And you better have a shutter flickering in order to make it look like a movie. So I've built that into my system.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to get out of here.
Well, thank you very much,
on my
Mr.
way.
Trumbull.
Thank you
Thank you
very
for
much.
coming to Michigan, and thanks for sitting
very
down
much.
with us. And
Thanks
good
very
luck
much.
on your new
Great.
process, which is called Magi.
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 It's like magic movies.
Look for it in theaters near you, hopefully.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you
Okay,
so much.
thanks.
And that's it. I want to thank Douglas Trumbull for letting me interview him and the Phoenix Movie Theater at the Mall of Monroe for sponsoring the event. If you like this sort of content, please give me a thumbs up on the way out. It really does help this channel. We hope to have more sort of DIY filmmaking for horror movies and sci-fi films on an indie budget coming out this year, as well as new episodes of Reanimated. And this fall, we hope to debut Vampire Land Apocalypse, our brand new web series. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Love each other. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Film Crash. Mwah! Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.